least one of the elements of the SsangYong Tivoli XLV's name should ring a bell, even if you're at a bit of a loss what it collectively refers to. More than 3,300 Tivoli SUVs found homes here in 2015, the first year it was available, so it's easy to see why SsangYong's UK distributor was so keen for this larger version to carry the recognizable Tivoli name, unlike in Korea where it is simply badged XLV. It might be easiest to think of it as an estate version of the standard car. There's more metal behind the rear wheels, adding 245 mm in length and 50 kg in weight. As a result, you get a 720-litre boot, up from 423 litres, trumping both the Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage, which both appear much larger than the XLV in the flesh. One engine and one trim level. Unlike the regular Tivoli range, the Tivoli XLV is only available in one trim level, the top spec ELX, which comes packed with standard kit including heated leather seats, keyless entry and start, sat-nav and a rear-view camera. Your only engine option is a 1.6-litre diesel, but at least there's a choice between front and four-wheel drive, and manual and automatic gearboxes. In fact, the only thing missing from this longer, more practical SsangYong is a pair of extra seats. The Korean manufacturer contemplated making the XLV a 7-seater, but decided that the rear bench would simply not be comfortable enough. Will it still tow my caravan? SsangYong is aware of its popularity with the UK tow bar fraternity, so rest assured, the 1,500 kg brake trailer capacity has been carried over from the Tivoli. With a considerably larger boot, though, you should be able to comfortably pack your camping essentials, and, according to the marketing pictures, a surfboard, snowboard, or pair of folding bicycles. Otherwise it's business as usual, with a comfortable cabin packed with equipment and a good, if unexciting driving experience. The verdict: the SsangYong Tivoli XLV adds a big dose of practicality to the already versatile Tivoli. While there's no more passenger room created by tacking on extra bodywork, the gains in boot space are welcome, and will no doubt appeal to growing families. It's unexciting to drive, but it's frugal and punchy and will suit most bias needs down to the ground. The appeal lies in the fact you can have manual, automatic, front and four-wheel drive in any combination you desire. See if it should be on your shopping list by reading the full SsangYong Tivoli XLV review. 1.6 diesel provides the power. It's not the quickest, but still punchy choice of drive and gearboxes. There's even less choice here than the standard Tivoli, with just the one engine, a 1.6-litre diesel. It suits the larger Tivoli XLV well, though, and provides a suitable amount of power. How does the Tivoli's diesel engine perform? You get the same 1.6-litre unit from the standard Tivoli SUV lineup, complete with 115 horsepower and 300 Nm of torque. Performance figures are the same across the board, both transmissions and 2- and 4-wheel drive, with 0 to 62 miles per hour taking 12.0 seconds. The Tivoli XLV feels quick off the mark, and in town it's sprightly enough. There's a slight lack of power at low revs before the turbocharger's boost kicks in, though, and this can catch you out on uphill sections where you'll have to drop a gear or two. Gearboxes: the 6-speed automatic box is the best solution for this problem, as it's quicker to recognize when a timely downshift is needed and find the right gear than you can with the manual yourself. It does tend to hold on to gears for a bit too long when you've got your foot down, though, where the engine is at its noisiest. If you're more of a relaxed driver, which makes sense in the XLV, then the auto feels well suited to the car's nature. A 6-speed manual box is standard and mimics the light control weights felt elsewhere in the cabin. The gear lever is heavily sprung and positive to use, so there's no penalty in refinement if sticking with this cheaper option. Majors on comfort over handling: quite a lot of body roll to contend with. Grip levels are good, though like the Tivoli SUV, the XLV majors on comfort and ease of use, so don't expect to be entertained behind the wheel in the same way you would in a Mazda CX-3, for example. There are 3 steering modes to choose from: Comfort, Normal and Sport. These ramp up the resistance from dwellable to weighty. The first of these makes light work of in-town maneuvers, but for everything else Normal mode will do. Extra metal over the back wheels means there's a fair bit of body roll, which soon becomes the limiting factor to the amount of speed you can comfortably carry through a corner. That means grip is rarely an issue, particularly in 4-wheel drive cars which hold on to the road with impressive tenacity. However, all in all, the Tivoli XLV feels much more comfortable at lower speeds. Cabin lifted straight from Tivoli, solid build for the most part, choice of leather colors and trim much like the SsangYong Tivoli SUV. Fans of the brand will hardly recognize the plush interior that awaits them in the XLV, especially compared with SsangYongs of old. The materials, on the whole, are solid, with some questionable plastics in places you're rarely going to be touching, but thanks to a choice of colors for the interior, it's a nice place in which to spend time. The driver's seat is finished in leather and features 2 levels of heating, as do the passengers and rear seats, and it is height adjustable and comfortable to sit in for a long journey. In front of you is a well laid out and quite stylish looking set of instruments that are easy to read. We also like the new woven pattern inserts in the door cards. Some buttons are oddly located, the heated seat switches are very low on the center console and the heating controls are made up of a sea of small, thin buttons, but otherwise it's all easy to navigate. The standard TomTom sat-nav is clear and simple to set up, although the 7-inch screen could do with being a little more responsive, and slightly brighter, but overall the infotainment system is simple and very easy to use. Comfort levels are good in the XLV, good driving position, suspension slightly firm, but comfy with the majority of Tivoli XLV buyers likely to be families. Comfort is where the XLV needs to do well. Luckily, it doesn't disappoint. There's plenty of space for everyone, in the front and back, and a smooth ride quality that levels out lumpy roads. The kids will like the high view out of the windows and mum and dad will like that there's a huge amount of storage for all kinds of bits and pieces that come with family life. These conveniences help with all buyers though, with a set of very comfortable leather seats up front offering plenty of adjustment, so it's easy for almost anyone to get settled in the XLV. It's not Mercedes-Benz S-Class good, but it's certainly acceptable and means the Tivoli XLV would make a superb long-distance companion. There's a bit of wind noise and the diesel engine is noisy when really pushed, but within the Tivoli XLV's more natural limits you'll find the cabin a quiet place to be. Only one trim level available. ELX spec is very well specified, few options keep it simple. The SsangYong Tivoli XLV is based on the top spec version of the Tivoli SUV, called ELX, so you get a huge kit list. Standard SsangYong Tivoli XLV SUV equipment. Let's start with the seats, which are leather all round, like the steering wheel and knob, and heated in both the front and the rear. The driver gets a height adjuster too. There are also chrome interior door handles and stainless steel kick plates in the front doors, and privacy glass in the rear. Gadget-wise, there is a keyless start button plus automatic headlamps and wipers, cruise control and a 7-inch touchscreen entertainment system. This comes with iPod, Bluetooth connectivity and a TomTom sat-nav system, but no DAB radio. The rear view camera is displayed on this screen, plus there are front and rear parking sensors. The instrument cluster has 6 color options and there are 3 steering modes to choose from: Comfort, Normal and Sport, each adding more weight to the wheel. Door mirrors fold automatically when you lock the car and are electrically operated and heated too, plus you get dual zone automatic climate control. Outside you get front and rear LED daytime running lights, rear spoiler with LED stoplight, front fog lights and 18-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels. You also get a lot of safety equipment as standard, including autonomous emergency braking, lane departure warning and lane keep assist. Optional SsangYong Tivoli XLV SUV accessories. Not a lot to mention here. There are a couple of interior color packs to look at and a smaller spare wheel to increase the amount of boot space you get, but as the standard equipment list is so comprehensive, you've got the bases covered anyway. Good safety credentials: 4 stars from Euro NCAP safety kit added to kit tally based on how the regular Tivoli performed. The XLV was awarded 3 stars for safety by Euro NCAP. However, since the XLV was launched, it's been updated with a new safety pack that throws in some driver assistance tech. This includes autonomous emergency braking, lane departure warning, lane keep assist and traffic sign recognition, which have contributed to its 4-star safety rating. There's also the usual suite of safety equipment as standard. You get dual front airbags, plus side curtain and a driver's knee airbag. Other items include front seatbelt pretensioners, electronic stability program, active rollover protection, ABS with electronic brake force distribution, and doors that automatically lock when you're on the move. Space is a SsangYong strong suit. Longer body means more room, plenty of storage throughout. Space and practicality is one of the SsangYong Tivoli XLV's areas of focus, and again it hits the nail right on the head. The 1,500 kilograms maximum towing capacity from the SUV remains essential for SsangYong's burgeoning caravan hauling fanbase. Of course, the big news here is the enlarged boot, with 576 liters, 1,440 if you drop the rear seats, of boot space, which is usefully larger than the Tivoli's 423 litres. It's also more than the Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage, key rivals from the Tivoli XL-V's home market. Pick a full-size spare wheel and there isn't quite as much space, but it's still comfortably larger than offerings like the Nissan Juke and Renault Captur, which can cost about the same amount to buy. There are also plenty of different storage options dotted throughout the cabin, from netting on the back of the front seats, big door bins and sections to the sides of the boot. The extra bodywork at the back of the Tivoli is what makes it larger, but overall it's not a huge difference, and it's still the same width, which helps with maneuvering in tight spaces around town. Where you do notice the extra bulk is when reversing to park, as there are some chunky pillars to contend with, and in corners when the car rolls quite noticeably. These small issues aside, the Tivoli XL-V feels very much like the regular Tivoli. SsangYong markets the Tivoli XL-V as a car with a 720-litre boot, which sounds like a very generous amount of space over the regular Tivoli. However, that figure is measuring it to the roof. In reality, most people don't fill their boots to the roof, rather the parcel shelf, and to this point the boot is 576 litres in capacity. If you wish to extend it, it's easily done by lowering the rear seats to open up a total of 1,440 litres. The boot also features some handy hooks and cubby holes, as well as a variable height boot floor to make it even more flexible.